about music, you see. So stick with me and be all that you can be, and join me on a journey through music theory. Hi, I'm Mr. B, and today we're going to learn about notes that are placed above or below the staff. So you're probably familiar with the names of the lines and the spaces on either the treble clef or the bass clef. But did you know that you can place notes right above that staff or right below that staff? So today we're going to expand our note knowledge a bit and find out what notes go on top of those clefs and what notes go on the bottom of those clefs. So let's get started. Hi again, I'm Mr. B, and today we're learning about notes that are placed above or below the staff. So let's review really quickly. What is a staff? A staff is 5 parallel lines. And you should know by now that you can either have treble clef staffs or bass clef staffs. And you could actually have some more, but we won't go over those today. So what we're going to do today is place notes that are above or below the staff. You're probably familiar with placing notes on the 5 lines and the 4 spaces. When we learned about the lines, this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5. And this is space 1, space 2, space 3, and space 4. Today we're adding notes to the top and bottom of the staff. So you can place a note above the staff like this on top of line 5, and you can place a note down here below line 1. Both of these notes are considered space notes because they don't have lines cutting through them. So each clef will have different letters. Let's look first at the treble clef. Remember our treble clef lines were every good boy does fine. Let me write that here real quick. E, G, B, D, and F. So if we're going to place a note above line 5, it would be a step up from F. So a step up from F is actually a G. So if you have a treble clef symbol, the note above the treble clef is called a G. Let me draw it again so it's a little more clear. Here's our 5-line staff and our treble clef symbol. And if you place a note on top of the treble clef, it's a G. Now let's talk about the bottom of the staff. You know that this note down here is E, and this note placed below the staff is a step down from E. So if you go a step down, you just go to the letter that goes before it in the alphabet. So what letter comes before E in the alphabet? A D. So the note that hangs below the lines of the treble clef staff is a D. So here we have the notes drawn again. You'll notice that the note above the treble clef is a G, and below the treble clef is a D. I don't have a too fancy of a way to remember this, but I do like to spell the word good, because G, and this looks kind of like an O, and this is an O-D. So you might want to say it looks like the word good when you label the notes. G is up here and D is down there. Now let's take a look at the bass clef. You might remember the lines of the bass clef going up are good burritos don't fall apart. So let's figure out the note that goes above the bass clef. Do you remember a note that is a step up from A? What would come after A in music? If you said B, you would be correct. This note is a B if you have the bass clef symbol here at the beginning of the staff. So a B note is above line 5 in the bass clef. Let's take a look at the note that goes below the bass clef. So our first note here is a G, and let's think about what note is a step before G. What comes before G in the musical alphabet? If you said F, you are correct. So the note hanging below the bass clef staff is an F. Here we have the notes drawn again. You'll notice that the note above the bass clef staff is a B, and the note below a bass clef staff is an F. Now, I don't have too fancy of a way to remember this, but if you're taking into account the way that I did the other one, which kind of spelled good, this sort of kind of spells boof, B-O-O-F. So if you want to say boof to remember the B and the F, go for it. So let's review really quickly. If we have a treble clef symbol here, we have a G here, and a D down here. And if there's a bass clef symbol, we have a B up here, and we have an F down here. And if you want to be sort of fancy, you can say that this kind of spells good, and this kind of spells boof. Okay, let's have examples. You tell me what the note is. If you said D, you are correct. How about this one? If you said G, you're correct. How about this one? If you said B, you're correct. And this one. If you said F, you are correct. Thanks for watching our video about notes above and below the treble clef and the bass clef staff. Bye. I'm Mr. B. If you like what you see, please subscribe to me.